Well, thank you all. If you were not with the Regents when they voted just 45 minutes or an hour ago, I made the statement that when one comes from South Dakota, they bring snow. It was not snowing when I left South Dakota this morning, and it is robustly snowing now. So I must apologize for my presence in the accompanying snow. This too shall pass, as we like to say. Don was extremely kind, and you all probably know this, but you're very fortunate to have an interim with his background, his experience, his knowledge base, and just the kindness that he brings to the role that he's currently filling. And we will have many phone conversations. We will have many visits. We will be at the basketball game together tomorrow. Don's wife and my wife were born in the same hometown. The world becomes incredibly small sometimes. You have more people?
You haven't mentioned the dean.
Oh, and our education dean is from Aberdeen, South Dakota. So, some of you who know South Dakota, there's 6 degrees of separation in the world. There's 1 degree of separation in South Dakota with our 802,000 people in the entire state. I can't tell you how honored I am to be here, how excited I am to be with you. I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't thank publicly again the Regents. This was not an easy process. I will tell you, I came, I think, fully prepared. Regent Fitzsimmons said I came with a lot of good questions and a lot of good data pieces to share, but I was challenged from the moment that I walked into the interview room the first time to the time that I came back for the second interview, and that's the way it should be. I can only say I guess I met the challenge because I actually got to sign a contract about a half an hour ago, so I want to thank the Regents for that opportunity as well. The critical message I want to leave all of you today is, unlike Don's statement that I'll know all the names by close of business, I don't think that will happen, but I do like to engage. One of the things that I've learned in a number of years working in higher education is that management by wandering around works. So I may wander into your space, and if you say, my God, what's the president doing on our floor? You haven't done anything bad. I may be looking for a restroom for the first 6 months. Keep that in mind. But I do believe that you learn people best by learning about them in their own environment. I remember as a young faculty member, I didn't know the president ever got out of his office. I never saw him unless we were in his office. I think it is much more comfortable, and I think it's comforting to students to see a president that will walk campus. And yes, I know that makes you a moving target, but I also think it also makes you well informed, and it allows you to really feel the pulse of the campus community. Now, will I be able to do that every day? No, obviously I will not. But I will try to do it to the very best of my ability. I also want to say that the history of this institution, the media group asked me, what would make you want to come to Eastern? Look at the history of the institution. Look at the things that have happened here. Look at the opportunities that are available to all of us, having that richness surround us. To be in a campus that has true diversity is really an exciting element in my next step in life, and I hope that we can celebrate that, and I hope that we can work to make that that mosaic, that tapestry, even more rich. And I will commit to you that I'll do my very best to do that. I also want to say, and Don mentioned it, I do like to have fun. If you don't laugh a few times a day, some of you know Jimmy Valvano's line, if you don't cry once a day, you don't laugh once a day. I don't remember what the third one is right now, but he had a great speech, one of the greatest speeches of all time. If you don't laugh a couple times a day, you're going to be a pretty miserable person. So I hope that you'll engage with me and laugh a little bit. Sometimes we'll laugh at ourselves. Sometimes we'll laugh at our mistakes. We will not be without error. I guess if the media is still here, you can mark that one down. We will not be without error. We will make some errors, and I certainly made errors at Northern State University, and I made errors at Bowling Green State University, but you learn from those errors, and you bounce back. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you go on, and you say sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you live to fight another day. And that's, I hope, the attitude that we'll all bring. We're going to disagree over things, folks. I know that. But we're not going to be disagreeable. We're going to disagree, and we're going to say, you know, that's the pinnacle of higher education. We don't have to all agree, but we're going to be agreeable with one another. And I hope we can bring that whole sense of what higher education is. We are so fortunate. Those of us who work here know this, but maybe we don't tell ourselves enough. We are incredibly fortunate to work with bright undergraduate students who want to change the world. And yes, occasionally they do things that annoy us. Not, of course, these young ladies and gentlemen in the front, but occasionally they'll do things that might annoy us. But it is a gift to be able to work with undergraduate and graduate students. I used to say, and my wife is a very, very bright woman, I said when I first went to Northern State, you know, Connie, I would do this job if they didn't even pay me. She said, Jim, stop saying that. The Regents would be happy not to pay you. It's a great way to balance a budget. It is a joy, it's a pleasure every day. Those of you who are in faculty know this, to work with students, to engage with students, to have them challenge you, to have them ask the tough question. Those of you who work in the service industry here and are able to serve students, you know that sometimes you're their best confidant, and I thank you for that. I'll try to learn who you are. I'll try to learn where you work. It may take me more than a month, it may take me more than 2 months, but I will continue to work and to get to know you and to engage with you and do the very best that we can to move Eastern on, to move it forward. It's a strong place today. Let's hope 3, 4, 5 years down the road we'll say, my gosh, how much stronger we are. So thank you for being here. And by the way, I don't think I've ever had champagne in the middle of the day unless I'm at a wedding. I figured there was a catch to this. Notice I'm drinking water. But those of you who are enjoying grape juice, continue to enjoy it. And thank you very much. Thank you all.